well, fit like. We're going to do League this time. Alan Moore, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Just going to like show you what's in it, what you're needing. Yeah, basically, just have a look at it. So the first one, the first one's Volume 1. It doesn't really have a name other than that. It's 6 issues collected together, and it's basically what is wrong with you? If I let you out, you're going to run away. So I can't do that. The first, yeah, it's basically set in a world where every novel that has ever been written exists, and it's all contained in this universe, if you see what I mean. So there's stuff everywhere in the background panels. There's references to stuff. I mean, a lot of it went over my head. I didn't know a lot of it. It was kind of what I was saying about his Providence stuff. Yeah, he just knows heaps, and he's showing off a little bit. To good effect. I mean, he's not doing it for the sake of it, but it is awesome. And this is great. This is like the forming of the team, if you see what I mean. They all get together, and Mina has to. If you don't know who Mina is, I won't tell you because there's quite a cool reveal as to who she is in this. But yeah, so it's good fun. This book. It's good just having a look and seeing what's going on in the background. There's a guy called Jess Nevins, I believe his name is. If you type in League of Extraordinary Gentlemen annotations into like the internet, there's pages that he goes through issue by issue. There's him and a few guys who kind of comment to that forum, and they kind of stick it all together, and between them kind of work out a bit of everything out. So you can go and have a look, like if you're not quite sure what something is. Look at this straight away. This is the Reichenbach Falls from Sherlock Holmes. So that's the kind of stuff that you're getting. Yeah, look. It's him and Moriarty and Sherlock fighting to the death. So that's the kind of stuff that's in there. But like, say you didn't know what that was. You kind of jogged something in your memory. Check out Jess Nevins, and he'll explain to you what it is, where it's from, and you know, like a book, he'll tell you what book to go and get. So that in itself is really good. He's really quick with them as well. I have never been. Every time I've had a new League, I've read it, gone onto the internet to look for Jess Nevins, and his stuff's been up already. Obviously over the next weeks it gets updated and everything, but he's quick with it. So that's the first one. The second one's just continuation. This is like a War of the Worlds style scenario. The aliens from War of the Worlds, they appear, and they've got to contend with that. One of the most gruesome deaths that I've come across is in this, which was really risky. I couldn't believe that this one came out because, well, I can't believe that one flew. They let that one go, because this one, which comes next, Black Dossier, this was actually banned over here. We couldn't get it. Unsure why, when this has, pretty hideous death in it. So whatever reason this was banned for, I'm unsure. But yeah, I think it's the first one, or is it? This is another collection of 6 issues, Volume 2. I can't remember. 1 second. Yeah, I can't remember what one it was, but in the single issues, I believe it's the first one. I think it's issue 3 of the first run. They had like mock adverts of the Victorian times, and some mock ones and some actual ones. And one of the ones was for I believe it was a douche, although I'm not sure. I might just be taking the piss with that. but it was called Marvel, and they kind of published it and everything, not really thinking about it, and then afterwards they're like, oh, actually Marvel might take offence to that if it's a douche especially, so they recalled them and pulped them. So early printings of 100 of 3 are worth quite a bit of money. So if you can find one with that advert in it, have a look. The hardcovers are really nice. I've actually got the issues of this one. I'm missing a few issues of the first one, but I had a paperback as well, and I got this one in a junk shop for a couple of quid. So I mean, gave away the Rupert there. Look, gave away the paperback to a mate of mine and kept the hardback. So that was good. The next one is Black Dossier, and this is set like, well, it's obviously third, but I mean this one jumps around quite a bit. I would say as well, if you were buying this, get the hardcover version of it. It just came out as a graphic. There was no issues for this. But if you get this, I don't know if you can see the. Yeah, you can sort of see that. But in the comic itself, they get the Black Dossier. Mina's holding it there, and it is this. If you see what I mean. So it's quite cool to be reading, and to be reading it whilst they're reading it. If you see what I mean. There's pages in here. There's obviously comics, but then they get the dossier and they start reading that, and so there's like little text pieces and stuff of stuff that's in the. I think there's a. Yeah, there you go. Look, there's a porno done in the ilk of 1984 with that, like Unspeak or whatever it's called. I think this is a. Yeah, it's in a. The Crazy Wide Forever by Sal Paradise, who I believe it's Hal in the book, but that's Kerouac from On the Road. So he's kind of. I believe it is Hal, his name. Maybe it is Sal. But you know what I mean? He's kind of riffing on that, and he puts. So it's Kerouac writing, but it's Mina he's writing about, if you see what I mean. So he's adding his gang into the into all the other literature that's been on the go from that time, and then this just goes crazy at the end. I don't want to give you the. I don't know if you can see that, but this is all actually 3D. You get a wee pair of they've fallen on the floor. Ugh. Oh no! You get a wee pair of glasses in the book. You can see them there. Come on, baby. Wee pair of 3D glasses to read the end. But it's wild. It's wild. I've never seen 3D like it. Like these panels here. If you can see, they look like kind of a mess. They're, instead of being 3D, they're two different pictures layered on top of each other. So, like if you close one eye and look at it in the blue, you get a picture. And if you close that eye and look at it in the red, you get a different picture. And I've never seen it used like that before. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just a bit sheltered, but I was really impressed. This one, you come out of this one and you're like, Jesus. I don't think I'll ever read again, because this drains you, man, and it's amazing. You kind of feel humbled, I guess, once you've read that. You're like, yeah, that's ace. Nothing I could do would ever be like that. So Black Dossier, I think this one comes in and out of print. I think I've seen it in like the comic book franchise, so you can probably get it. So then next, he kind of just ticked over with it. I mean, it obviously starts around 1900, and then he's not gone too far, and then he goes into this, and as good as it is, I feel it's rushed. It's not rushed, but you'll see what I mean when I start talking about it. it starts off in 1910, and then straight to 1969, and then straight to 2009. So what he's spent the first 3 books going over the space of like 20, 30 years, he's done in 3 of these little double issues essentially. He's done another 6 issues essentially, and gone like 100 years. So I mean, which is cool. It is really cool seeing the kind of the modern day the modern day stuff that they add in. But at the same time, you're like, come on, man, because this is actually the last League that he's done. This would be Century. It's called. Each one's titled Century, and then the name. You can get it collected together now. I don't know if it's collected in a slipcase with 3, or if it's just a big book with all 3 in it. But it's definitely collected. This has some of my favourite stuff for, like I was saying about the background kind of stuff. Obviously, the closer you get up to now, the more stuff we maybe just know subconsciously. The more, like, Bowie appears in it, Matt Smith's in it, Doctor Who obviously. Like, he's not a character, but he's just. I'm just trying to have a look, see if I can see anybody. But he's floating around in the background. So yeah, I mean, it's cool. I mean, the end of this is crazy. It gets referenced to in the first one, and you kind of think it's just a bit of a dig. And I was a bit pissed off with it in the first one because it felt like just like a backhanded dig that wasn't necessary. But he's gone for it, and you'll have to read it. I don't really want to tell you what it is, but you'll know what I'm talking about. Yeah. So again, as I say, Jess Nevins, he's got the lowdown on all of this. If you, I mean, you can read it and just have it as a cool story, or you can, do work on it and get everything out of it that's possible to get. So, would recommend those. So that's League. That's everything up to date. And then he started doing these ones, which is Nemo, or well, I mean, you're just gonna have to bear with me for these because Nemo Heart of Ice, which is his take on the Mountains of Madness. Is it that one, Mountains of Madness? River of Ghosts? I can't remember. I think it's this one. Is Mountains of Madness the Lovecraft story? So, obviously Nemo, Captain Nemo. So, but she's a girl. What? You'll have to read the early ones to find out. So, that's number 1. Again, these came out like this, nice hardbacks. They're collected again, and I think they're just the same, but you get this really sweet slipcase. It looks amazing. Kevin O'Neill, obviously, is just awesome. He does the art for the entire series, and it really benefits from it. Just keeping it the same all the way through. Kevin O'Neill's just awesome, and I can't recommend his stuff enough. And with this as well, you can tell he just does whatever he wants, and you get away with it. That's like some cool like war propaganda there. So obviously, in the world of League, there's never been a fictional book about Hitler. So he wasn't there. He didn't exist. But there's been a Charlie Chaplin movie called The Great Dictator, which the final speech was everywhere for a while. I'm pretty sure it's from that, where he does the speech at the end talking about humanity and mankind and everything, and everyone's like, "True story, bro." So yeah, this one. So Hitler, Charlie Chaplin plays Hitler in that movie, The Last Dictator, or The Great Dictator, and his name is Adenoid Hinkle. So that is who Hitler is in this, and it's like the Roses of Berlin, so it's like a Nazi kind of SS story. Honestly, these are cool, but they're not. I would have rather had another League story, but he's obviously got something to say about this, and he's said what he was going to. There's the last one, Rivers of Ghosts. River of Ghosts, excuse me. And she's aged a fair bit there. So this is the female Nemo. This is her life, basically. Not as essential as the rest, but keeping your toe in, yeah, go for it. I don't read these ones as much. I've read them a couple of times. I read them as they came out, and then, you know, as the second one came out, I read the first one, and then the third one came out, I read them all. Can we just have some other League, please? Some Alan Moore. They're all over the place, aren't they? So anyway, that's it. That's all of it. Like I say, you can get various editions. The hardcovers are nice. I think the hardcovers of the first two are quite difficult to find. It might not be worth it. Definitely get the hardback of Black Dossier, and then the rest, you know, is fair game. The first series came out in 6 issues, obviously, but I think there's like compendiums, which are 2 issues lumped in. I think you can get 3 of them, maybe for each series, definitely for the first. Not sure why they did that, but they did. So I've got some other ABC stuff, nothing as complete as this, but we'll maybe have a look at some if I can get some more. But highly recommended. And one of the things that he's doing that is still ongoing, if you see what I mean, League is still getting written. So we'll see what his plan is, and we'll see what he's doing next after the Nemo 3. Anyway, thanks, and we'll see you for the next one.